to Life Social, another exclusive. We bring to you, I'm Mr. Popular, and we got a special guest, Sabine Taylor, representing
Bucky Grammar proper noun.
Yeah, I was about to say your hometown, but she's gonna here to talk about what she's got going on in the community here in Atlanta, specifically in the west and the south part of Atlanta. But just get a little background. So where you from? Where you hail from?
Well, I'm from New York, born in Brooklyn, and then so I was raised in Brooklyn and Queens, New York.
Okay, Queens, QU in the building, MBK all day.
Yep.
That's what's up. So, what made you come down here from being from New York? Of course, you got a lot of New York transplants down here in Atlanta. So how did that come about?
Well, in my junior year of high school, I signed up to go to like a black college tour. So I visited a couple of schools and I said, okay, Georgia's far enough. And I really liked Clark, and that was like the best thing that ever happened to me.
You went to Clark, okay. All right, that's what's up, the HBCU going on. So I'm assuming that Clark, I seen school, I've never been to HBCU. I've seen School Days and other films. What was that vibe like being around just like the whole force with people of color, just of your own? What was that experience like?
Well, I can tell you, the public schools that I went to, I maybe had one black teacher from maybe preschool to high school.
Oh, wow.
And so I felt like the teachers didn't understand.
Couldn't relate to
because my parents were also from Haiti.
Oh, okay.
And there was like, they didn't go to school here, in New York. And I just felt lost in public school.
Oh.
And so when I came to Clark, it changed the trajectory of my entire life.
Oh.
For me, being around like 12,000 students, at least at Clark, that looked like me, made me feel at home. But more importantly, the teachers told me every day that I could be somebody. And the motto of Clark is we'll find a way or make a way. And I remember that every time that, I'm in pursuing of a goal.
Okay. That's what's up. So you felt at home because you had more people that could relate to you, and even if they were from somewhere like Texas or Cali or from down here, like you was like, okay, we share a common bond or whatnot. That's good, Now, as far as with your goals, like represent Bucky Grammar, proper nouns. How did that come about? What inspired you to do that?
A couple of things. Number one, I am a mother of a now 7-year-old. And at the age of 6, if we go from 0 to 6, through research, I got my daughter like about $60,000 worth of scholarships for just private schools.
Oh, wow.
And that's not including what I paid. Maybe altogether, I might have paid $80,000 or $75,000. Combined with the scholarships and what I paid for her education. But I found like when she got into public schools, there were some things that were concerning to me. So when you're pregnant or you're getting ready to have a child, the whole message is that you got to read to your child. You got to read. And I did that. I am a helicopter mom and very proud of it. I really hover over my daughter's education process.
I never heard that term before, helicopter mom. So
yeah, it's helicopter parenting. So, so when I noticed that I'm working on homework assignments with her, she cannot write without my help, and she cannot decode words. Decoding words is when you present a word to a child, and she would be able to like recognize the speech sounds and kind of link the meaning to it.
Okay.
So I noticed that in the schools they don't spend a lot of time teaching phonics. Okay. So there's this whole phenomenon called the pre-K to prison pipeline.
Oh.
Okay. And
school me on that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Because I was checking out the bio. And I said pre-K to prison pipeline. I got a feeling, but go ahead and elaborate more on that.
Sure. Basically, at the toddler years, parents who have the disposable income to maybe spend anywhere from $800 to $1,100, sometimes more, put their children in these camps. could be kindergarten boot camps. It could be an enrichment program like a Kumon. And as a result, that child gets all of that enrichment. So by the time they get to kindergarten, they are reading, they are decoding words like this. Their peers from less affluent areas are not put in these boot camps. And as a result, when they get to school, they are lagging behind. And to further elaborate, by the third grade, they take their first cognitive test, COGAT, that counts towards, their academic, while they're in their academic, career. That test has so many multisyllabic words. So for instance, a child is taking the test, if they can't read what the question is asking, they get stuck. And they look at that question, they can't figure it out.
It's time too, so it's like on top of that. So.
Exactly. So when they get the results, it's below average. But not only do they get the results, but the prison system gets the results. And they forecast the number of beds based upon that third grade test. Now, what I also want to state, notice it's not the third grade third grade to prison pipeline. It's the pre-K to prison pipeline, because at third grade, you're being tested on everything that you learn from third, second, first, kindergarten, pre-K.
Yeah, exactly.
So the name Funky Grammar is to say, that yes, we do have our own unique vernacular. Like we could say something like Madeir. We could say something like, I'm going to College Park. What's up, Shouty? And I'm finna do this.
All that.
So the whole premise is to say, let's celebrate our unique differences, but let's also understand the nuances within the English language. So funky grammar, proper noun. And that's the name.
Oh, okay. So basically, taking what we say, in our own community, and then, this is what's the actual meaning of it, right? We say, suppose or fixing or whatever.
Yes.
It comes from the root. This is actually root supposed to, or supposed to be. So that's basically what it is.
Yes, and the whole premise is to say that let's build the entire community. Let's beautify our homes, but also let's put resources in the community, such as a literacy center. And such as I would love to build a 3D printing center so we can teach kids, hey, you can make your own shirt with a 3D printer. You can make your own car with a 3D printer. They're building houses in China, in Europe, with a 3D printer. So actually in China, there's this real estate development company that built a mansion with a 3D printer for $150,000.
What?
And they built a 6-story apartment building.
Oh, that is crazy. Also I do pre-K.
Yes.
I teach. And I feel what you're saying. Because like you were talking about the prison system, as far as like you was saying, as far as with third grade, well, really pre-K, but they already count those beds for them. They can't read or on this level because they already know it's going to be a downward spiral. And a lot of people don't know the prison system. Each bed is worth $30,000 to $40,000. And that was like 10 years ago. So who knows how much it went up to now.
Well, actually, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, in the United States, it costs about $240 a day to incarcerate somebody for a year for a minor offense, $87,000 per year, as opposed to the average cost to educate a child for about 8 months, because you take away Christmas break, spring break, $10,000.
That's crazy.
So that's.
Yeah, and it's tricky because it's like we fight. Not saying we fight behind. Well, I guess we are in a sense fighting behind enemy lines, because it's like, all right, they say get an education, because it's one thing they can't take away from you. If you have an education, they can't strip it away from you. Like say if you committed a crime you didn't commit and you serve all these years and you get out, as long as you have that education background, you can still have that knowledge. Say, look, you couldn't take away my degree. You couldn't take this away because I earned that.